The Carbide Series LED reflector headlights from GTR Lighting for the 2016 and up Toyota Tacoma are here. These things are 173% brighter than stock, and in this video we're going to go over what to expect and how to install. These new LED reflector headlights from GTR Lighting feature a blacked out interior trim to give your vehicle a darker but OEM plus look. The LED reflector style headlights look like something that would come on a Toyota Tacoma from the factory, but they're way brighter. These have an LED daytime running light, they have an LED reflector low beam, an LED reflector high beam, and an amber LED turn signal, and they're super easy to install. We parked this Tacoma at 25 feet from the wall and turned on the low beam and got this beam pattern. This is your typical halogen projector Toyota beam pattern, and it comes in at 230 maximum lux. We measure lux, not lumens, because lux is the actual measurable brightness of the light output. If we compare the lux of two different headlights, that's a guarantee of how much brighter the new ones are. Now here's the low beam of the LED reflector headlight from GTR Lighting. This is a normal looking beam pattern for an LED reflector headlight. They don't have that super sharp cutoff line like you get from projectors. A lot of people don't like that super sharp cutoff line, and if you're one of them, this is going to be a relief. This headlight isn't wider than the stock beam pattern, but it is brighter out near the edges, which helps you see debris and potentially animals and other things on the road and ditches to help you avoid things that you might have hit otherwise. The hot spot is up and at the top of the beam pattern like it should, but it's much wider than a typical projector headlight. This larger hot spot will illuminate a larger brightness footprint on the ground in front of you. And of course, that modern, bright white color. The low beam comes in at 630 maximum lux, which is 173% brighter than stock. When we flip the stock headlights to high beam, they're just as bright as the LED low beams, coming in at 630 maximum lux. And when we turn on the LED high beam, these things are 30% brighter than stock, coming in at 820, with a lot more height to the beam. These headlights are definitely an improvement over stock, and it'll change your driving experience at night. When you turn on the low beam, this outside portion of the reflector turns on. As you can see, it's a much larger section than the high beam on the inboard side. Down below the low beam, you have the LED turn signal. The whole thing illuminates amber and is a lot brighter and better looking than the turn signal on the stock headlights. Then you have the C-shaped DRL that goes around the whole thing. Now this is a modern style dual brightness LED daytime running light like you find on a lot of brand new vehicles. When you're driving around in the daytime with your headlights off, it illuminates a very bright white. And when you turn the headlights on, that daytime running light dims to 50%. The install of these headlights is easy, and we're going to show you that in just a second, but it's got the exact same style lens, it's got the exact same mounting points, the shape of everything is identical. You even have the same type of vertical adjustment screw so that you can aim your headlights as needed. I mention that because a lot of aftermarket headlights have very bad aiming mechanisms, and the ones on the GTR Lighting Carbide headlights are fantastic. They're just as good and robust as stock. When you're doing the install, there's a couple things you need to know. First, this trim panel that I have installed on the LED headlight actually came off of the stock headlight. So you take off those two screws and you install it on the front of the new headlight. But move to the back of the headlight, you have your aiming adjusters here and here. Up in this corner is the bulb socket for the front parking light. As you can see, this is a standard T10 incandescent bulb, and I would recommend taking that out and installing the GTR Lighting low profile T10 bulb, but make sure you get one that's amber. This is going to ensure that your entire headlight is fully LED. The 2016 and up Toyota Tacoma come with halogen projector headlights, and the premium models had an LED daytime running light option built into the headlights. If you have that option, you install the wiring exactly how it comes on the back of the headlight. No adapters required of any kind. All of the connectors are OEM style, and everything is totally plug and play to your factory headlight wiring. You have turn signal, low beam, high beam, daytime running light, and up here, your front parking light, just like your stock headlight. If your Tacoma does not have the OEM LED daytime running light, you need to use two adapters. The first one is the turn signal splitter. This converts the two turn signal connectors into one that fit your headlight that doesn't have the DRL. You find the connectors that match the wire harness 1 and 2. And now this is what you install onto your factory wiring. And to make the daytime running light work, there's a single wire connector built into this headlight wiring. If you disconnect it, we're going to tap into the wire that goes to the headlight. As you can see here, the wire that goes to the connector, we're not going to use at all. You can tape it up or you can just leave it there. It's not going to hurt anything. Then we're going to install this fuse tap harness. It has 2 connectors and 1 fuse tap. You locate the fuse from the instructions, you pull it out, you put the fuse tap in place, and then you run the wiring to each headlight. There's a long side and a short side. The short side, of course, goes to the headlight nearest the fuse box, and the long side goes to the other headlight on the other side of the truck. This connects to the wire harness that points to the headlight. You can see it's going into the headlight. Do not install it on the connector facing the wiring.
The first step is to pop the hood. Next, we'll take off the grill. Normally it's these 2 bolts, and there's 2 clips along the side also. This is a TRD edition, so there are 2 extra clips right here and here that we want to remove first. Now with all the hardware removed, we can remove the grill. Now that the grill's taken off, we can loosen up the front bumper. To do that, you want to remove these 6 push pins along the front. It's not too hard. Let's get to it. Now with the grill removed, we can move down to the fender liner. There's a screw and a push pin that you have to rotate 90 degrees to pull out. I'll show you how to do that now. Now that we have the bolt and the push pin removed, before we loosen up the bumper, there are some tabs that go along the inside of this fender liner right here. We have to push those out first. I'll show you how to do it now. There is also a small tab that guides the bumper in. It's located right here. Just pull back and over just like that. Once you've removed the fender flare, use a pry tool to release the bumper clips from the front fender. Gently pull down to reveal the bolt, then remove the bolt on the side. Then move to the top of the headlights and remove the 2 bolts on the top of the housing. Lift up on the top tabs, holding in the housing. Then pull on the bottom tab towards yourself, releasing it from the vehicle. Disconnect the wiring from the stock housing. We'll be switching over this piece from the stock housing to the new GTR Carbide LED headlight. Just remove these 2 screws. And move this new piece to the new housing. Next, we'll put it on the vehicle. If you have an OEM DRL truck, plug in this adapter and then plug in the rest of the connections to the factory wiring. Then install your headlight. Make sure to run through all the functions and tidy up any loose wiring. Just bolt everything back up and you're good to go.
These full LED reflector headlights are a major upgrade to your Tacoma when considering safety, style, and lighting performance. But if you're not ready to pull the trigger on a full headlight replacement, go check out our website at headlightrevolution.com, put in your year, make, and model, and we'll show you everything that you can do to your Tacoma when it comes to the world's best lighting upgrades.